Hello and welcome to the Switch podcast, where you get some behind the scenes scenes, and just get to hear a little bit from the cast and the crew about the Switch and its production.
Right on.
I'm here with Tommy Housman,
Yeah,
um, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Let tell us what you do for the project and
right
who
on.
you are.
All right. So my name is Tommy Housman. I'm instructor of communications and student media advisor here at the University of Evansville. And this is our second semester creating a short film. Last semester, we created a film called Undergraduate, and it went fairly well. This semester, we're trying a little bit different to where I am writing and directing and producing. So it's going to be a little bit different. And I think next semester we'll find a good balance between my participation and student participation as well. So it's all a learning process, just trying to figure out how it is best to assign student responsibilities versus my involvement, and then how do I teach effectively how this whole process works.
All right, and could you tell us a little bit about what the Switch is, like what it's about?
Oh, the movie. The
Yeah.
movie. Okay, so well, recently, um, bills for your utility bills have gone up quite a bit. And that's for everybody, especially in southern Indiana. In Indiana, we have one of the highest bills for utility, for electricity.
I did not
And
know that.
yep. And our legislator, our process here, our legislature has kind of failed the constituents of Indiana in continuing to pave a lane for monopolies and for those monopolies to not have to bear the cost of anything, really. So up to 85 to 90% of the cost of any infrastructure building that these monopolies do gets passed on to the customer,
Mm,
and
okay.
disproportionately to the ratepayers that are households. So they kind of skip the industries and put it on to people, directly onto people.
Yeah.
And 44% of our area lives below the Alice line, which means that they have a job, maybe even two, and they pay all their bills, and they're trying to keep up, but they're struggling.
Yeah, they're just going paycheck to paycheck,
Right,
you're saying.
absolutely. And so these bills going up, I work three jobs. I
Yeah.
I teach here and I teach at Ivy Tech, and I do a little design work on the side, web design and stuff. And I was hit with these bills that I couldn't keep up with, and my electricity got turned off. Um,
Okay.
so I sought assistance in the area from friends and coworkers, and people were very generous in helping me get my electricity turned back on. So I was like, how do I pay that back? How do I pay that forward? And one of the ways I did that was I started a podcast called Gaslit: The Power of Story, where I interviewed um, people that are running for office, people that are in office, and experts that have been following why we're paying high bills, like Direct Action Against Centerpoint Energy and Citizens Action Coalition. So we learned a lot through that podcast, and I was like, well, I'm not done yet. I still want to do something. So what if I told a story? So I sat down and I wrote just a little short film about what it might be like to have your power turned off at a pivotal moment that you're celebrating with your children, and what that might look like and what it might feel like.
I don't know, what are your expectations, Like what are you hoping to get out of this project?
Well, one, of course, I think that I want it to be a creative work of art. Um,
Yeah.
and I want everybody to do a good job, and I want it to shed a good light on everybody that is involved and on the school. And I'll enter it into short film competition, and we'll see what happens. I mean, the worst that thing that could happen is that we don't finish it, and that's okay. But I don't
Yeah.
think that's going to happen. We finished the last one. This one is a little simpler, I think we'll finish it just fine. So I'm hoping that this continues a trend of establishing this class producing a short film every semester, and that it 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 is a really good way for experiential learning for the students to like really get their hands into how this is done. I think that's one of the biggest parts about how I'm trying to learn how to teach that. Uh, I think we're a little short on equipment to like just hand out equipment. So learning how to teach how we do every step of this is something that I'm also learning in the process. So the goal is to learn to teach this better and produce high quality content that 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 is student driven.
I know you're only halfway through with this one, but you have done one before. Um, I don't know, what would you say is like the biggest struggle right now with like having done one in the past and kind of changing some things up and now, doing another short film.
Well, it's funny because last semester it was the story, the script, right? And that took a really long time to get down because we started from nothing and we started with ideas and like, what if it's this? What if it's that? What if it's this? And it took a long time to get a script down. Even though we started with a rough draft of a script this semester that I had written, we're still fine tuning the script at the same point before we start shooting. I think we're a little ahead of schedule. We didn't really start shooting till like week 8. So, um,
Mhm.
but we should be done shooting a lot quicker because we're going to shoot this all in one day.
Okay.
So I see parallels still, even though I tried to do it a little bit different this semester. Like I said, this is a learning process, not just for the students, but for me on how to effectively teach it.
And I don't know, like what would you change though?
I'm not really sure. I think one of the things that I might do over the summer, and if you're listening, this is your opportunity to have your ideas be turned into a short film. I think I might have a contest over the summer to where I say, if you want your story and you want to write a script, and then maybe we have some script writing workshops.
Okay.
We have a couple of people on campus that would be good at doing something like that. And we have a script writing workshop, and we have a contest, and then we'll choose a student written script to use, and we'll start the semester with a final product instead of a rough draft or trying to write one from scratch at the beginning. I think that'll help a lot.
Yeah. You think it'll help like smooth things along and make sure that they can focus on like I don't know. I I'm actually not really sure like what would they be focusing on instead?
Well, I think then if we have that already, then we can already said, well, who's going to do design? Who's going to do marketing? Who's going to do filming? We're working in partnership with John Robertson class to do sound, so we got that covered.
Okay.
But who's going to do set design? Who's going to um, be a creative lead on trying to figure out like what the shots look like? So who's going to make a shot list? Who's going to do a schedule? Who's going to direct? Who's going to be the assistant director? And I think being able to decide those things in the first 2 weeks of class because you have a full finished project ready to go will be a lot easier to do. Because right now the class is just kind of everybody's doing a little bit of everything, right? So everybody's going to get a hands-on opportunity to do just a little bit of every part of it. I think it'd be better if we broke it up into sections and every single person has a role that they're responsible for.
Yeah, I think that would I mean honestly like being in this class, I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that would be a lot better. Especially I don't know if like everybody else is kind of struggling with this, but like part of the like taking the lead in like doing anything or in like I don't know, like trying to edit the script or trying to work on like the socials or promotion and like design. I don't know, like trying to like take the lead on any of that kind of feels a little daunting.
Yeah, it does.
They especially when I don't know when things feel more abstract in a way.
Right. I can tell you from my experience from the last class. I think the last class didn't realize we were doing a movie until we almost were finished. We were almost finished, and we started having promotional content ready, like posters and flyers, and we were starting to announce that we were going to have a showing, and they were like, "Oh, we're shooting a movie." This is a movie. It's really happening. And I think whenever you come into a classroom for the first time, and I tell you we're going to shoot a short film, you're like, you don't really know what that means. You're like, I'm okay. What does that mean? What does that look like? What is that? What is it? And then, but as we get along further, and it starts to look like a movie, you're like, oh, it we're shooting a movie.
Yeah.
So, I think that if I can get the students to that point a little bit earlier, that would be good. And I think with a script that's already finished, we'll be able to get there faster because then I can assign a design team to make a logo, to do some promotional content, to do casting, and get that out of the way faster.
Yeah. And I think especially after, after you shoot, it's gonna be a lot easier, I don't know, to like pull things along and move things along because, the only thing that'll be left is editing
Yeah,
and I don't know, if need be, maybe reshooting one or two things, but
right.
um hopefully that won't
Now,
won't be
hopefully
the
that
case.
doesn't happen because the goal here is to shoot it all at once. Um, One of the biggest problems of the last film was so many different shots in so many different places. We're just shooting in
Yeah.
one room. We're just going to shoot in one room, and we're going to try to do it all at the same time. And I think that is part of the cleverness of the story is having it in one room. And how do you make one room remain interesting? Um,
Hmm.
and I think that that's part of the challenge of writing this story. And I think that we pulled it off pretty well. It's hard to say so far because we haven't actually shot it yet. But when we shoot it, I think, and when we go to edit it, it's going to run pretty smooth,
Okay. Um, well, I mean, that's really all I have for today.
right?
In the future, I'm probably gonna be interviewing some of the actors,
Mhm.
maybe a couple of the students from the class,
Right.
either before or after shooting,
Mhm.
just to kind of see how everybody feels and um, to I don't know,
Yeah.
see what everybody thinks about the project.
I think this is exciting, an exciting add-on to the show, so we can kind of see what that process looks like and how everybody else feels about it. And it's definitely something that I'm going to take and go, okay, I can learn from this and apply this to the next class. So I'm excited.
Yeah, because like I don't know, one thing um that I had no idea how that even I like the process of shooting a movie.
Mhm.
I have no idea how that even works,
Yeah.
how people even like figure that stuff out. Like,
Well, I tell you, it's a
I don't
lot
know.
more like detailed and oriented and than what we're doing. But we're having fun, we're having a good time, and we're learning. So
Yeah.
um, I like structure, but I also like to foster the creativity and the ability to do what we need to do. And I kind of operate well under chaos. So but maybe we'll build some structure and some boundaries in the future, and maybe that'll be a fine-tuned machine in a couple of years.
Hopefully so.
Right on.
Hopefully
Right.
so.
I appreciate you.
Yep. And I appreciate you for coming, taking some time to talk. I know you're super busy with everything.
Yep. All right. See you guys on the big screen.